Hi Brian, I set up MindTap in your course for your 3 courses so that your students will have access. I'm in the process of setting it up for your other 2 instructors. One of your instructors was not in our system and the other one had a problem linking to the institution. So at the latest, I can get that set up for you on Monday. Also, I want you to be aware that Cindy Bridges is our IT specialist, and she can go over this in more depth, but I just wanted to make sure that your students had access to the MindTap since they don't have their books. So what I did, so right here, if you want to add MindTap to your bookshelf with a book that has MindTap and you want your students to have access and they had purchased the access codes, you would do a search and you would add the MindTap to your bookshelf. Just like that. So any other content that you might see that you want to add, make sure you select it so you can review it, because if you don't add it to your bookshelf, you will not have access to it. So right here, I already set up your course. So here you can see where you can manage courses and you can create courses. So right here, Guide to Networks. I'm going to go over here and select Manage, because right here you'll see the courses that I actually set up for you. And here is the link that you can send to your students right now that they can access the classroom. And I'm going to click on that and kind of show you what that might look like to your students. So you can go ahead and copy and paste that and send that to your students. Or you can print out a copy. So you have the ability to print something out for your students. You can edit anything that I put in here if you didn't like how it goes. And then over here is how you would actually access your course. So I'm going to click on Log In to Cengage Brain. So that's how your students would access it. So if they're a new student, they're going to put in Create Account. If they're an existing student, they're going to put in their current information and log in. And so you can see right here where it is connecting you to your course. So it gave them a unique identifier and they would log into the course. And I'm going to show you what that's kind of going to look like, because I actually have an account set up and I'm going to put in my personal information here and I'm going to log in as one of your students. So right here it's going to say, I have an access code, I want to buy an access code, I would like temporary access code. So right now, tell your students select temporary access code. So they have a little bit of buffer time before they have to put in their code for the course. So start temporary access. So you're going to go right there and they're going to log into the class. So right here they would enter the course and it's going to take them through how do you go through the courses and everything like that. There's no weekly activities. I'm going to set your course up where the units would be the start. So this will be set up by units and modules here. And Cindy, again, will go through this a little bit more in depth, but you have the ability to make any changes to this course that you want. So if you want them to go through Module 1, Module 2, if you want this created by weeks, you can set this up by weeks. You can set this up by units. You can set this up by module. You can change when people can access the book, as far as if you want them to start with Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. So any way you kind of want to do it. And again, Cindy's going to go into more detail on how to access MindTap, but I thought it was very important that I get you into MindTap so that your students can have this access over the weekend. I want to show you a couple of really important things too. So in the body of each section, so this would be, I'm guessing, Chapter 3, it also has some lab topics in here that they can start, and feel free to go through this and kind of take a look. It has interactive quizzes, reading. Sometimes it will have videos in here, and you can add your own videos, your own content. So right here, it takes it from a very general perspective, learning objectives. You read it. Then it takes you down and sees if you understand it in a virtual lab environment and troubleshooting. And then you have a little review, and then you have your tests. Again, you can hide anything here you want. So if you didn't want, now I'm in here as a student, so obviously I can't hide anything. But it will show you as the instructor, you can hide any content you don't want them to see, and you can add your own content. Again, this is something Cindy will go over with you. So I just want to show you one really quick thing that I really love about MindTap Reader and about MindTap. I'm going to make the letters a little bit bigger here, and I'm going to go, let's see, Internet Protocol. The one thing I really like about MindTap Reader is it actually reads to you. So I can select male, female, fast or slower, and
IP, Internet Protocol. IP, Internet Protocol, belongs to the network layer of the OS.
So the benefit is, if they're doing something, they can listen to this over and over again if they want, or, they can read it themselves if they want. They can print out some pages if they'd like. Also, one really key factor, and they can make it male, female, faster, or slower, is any word on this page, whether it's just that, they can have it read to them. So they go over here.
That is.
Oh, I actually highlighted two things. And they can look it up in the dictionary. So especially in your program, networking, there are probably a lot of words that your students are not familiar with, and they don't really want to go to you and ask you how to pronounce a word. But now all they have to do is highlight the word. They can not only look it up and find out what it means, but they can also have it pronounced to them. So basically, this is from a student perspective. I'm actually enrolled in your class, so it shows you how easy it was as an existing student to kind of log into your course. And I'm going to go back to your page here and show you what I was referring to as far as access. So I'm going to enter your course. So I'm in here as you. And I really, personally, I don't like this view. You can set up by weeks, and you can also put when things are due. Again, Cindy's happy to go through that with you. We can set up some time for individual training. We can do some WebExes. I personally like this view right here. So how to access that, I have to pull up my screen a little bit here. You'll see under your name, there's a pull-down menu in course settings. So we can go to course settings for dashboard, and we can select what view you want to use and what you want your students to see. And I really like the unit view. You may decide that you actually like that weekly view once you set everything up. So now this is what your students are seeing. So again, a lot of the things in here, students can highlight and take notes, and you can share notes with your students. So over here, there's a study hub. So anything that you highlight, you can share that with your students as important. That may be on the test. They can create their own notes over here through a study guide, so they can create their own notes. What chapter? I can just say notes here, notes 1. I can select a unit. Any unit I want. I can add all content. So we've got flashcards, we've got shared content. I can add this to my unit guide. Anything that I highlighted, I can create this and I can print this out. So this is really good to keep students on point of what is going on in the classroom. Another really great feature is you can see who is accessing the course, how much time. You can see me as a student, I access it once, how long I spend in the course, and what I actually access. So students that are not doing well, you can say, hey, why aren't you accessing the course more? You can see what kind of engagement, how much time they spent in the course, activities access. So you can really get a good bird's eye view of what's going on, and you can also get an overview of how they're doing on a lot of the tests. Like, is it too hard? Do I need to focus a little bit more on another subject? So remember, you can add your own content, videos, and anything you want in the body of this to really make this your own course. So I'm just going to close this out real quick, and you can add your notes over here as well. So this is a really good tool. And another thing, too, to remember is if there's a chance that class is canceled for some reason, sometimes due to weather, you can require students to log into MindTap and have them do assignments. And you can post your own video on there and talk in your lecture. And so they can actually show up to class virtually, which is really beneficial if there's any weather issues, or let's say you can't get to class, but you want to make sure students stay on point and on task. This is a great way to do that. For accreditation purposes, now you're able to say how long students are spending in the course, what they're spending it on, how much time they're doing on their assignments, and how much reading they're doing. So this is pretty much really quick on how to use it. And I will get your other 2 instructors ready. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. And again, let me know some good times that Cindy can get together with you, either virtually or in person, to set up some training. Thanks a lot, and have a wonderful weekend.